Today on 5 Minute Music, we're going to take a look at building a cheap DIY drum riser for your drummer. We've all been reviewing pictures and photos of our band after a show, and the one thing you'll notice is that the drummer is always hidden. And the big reason for that is most of the time your singer's standing in front of them, your guitar's standing in front of them, your bass player's standing in front of them. The answer for that seems pretty simple. You need to raise them up. Even if you can get them to head height, when you have a photo, they're going to be able to be seen in between everybody's shoulders rather than hidden by an entire body. I researched prefab drum risers online, and holy smokes are they expensive. I decided I could probably build this cheaper myself. Enter the plywood on Buckets Drum Riser. After measuring a few of my friends' kits, and then our acoustic kit and our electric kit, I landed on a size that would work out best for us for most venues. That ended up being 6 foot deep by 7 foot wide. Now the supplies you'll need are 2 pieces of plywood, and you don't even need to have a saw because Lowe's and Home Depot will cut them if you just cut them into squares. The next thing you'll want is 16 buckets. I went with the Lowe's Blues buckets because the Home Depot bright orange just didn't look as good to me. One thing I did do was I took the buckets and I drilled 2 holes in the very bottom. This allows airflow. That way when you stack them together, and there's 16 of them, they don't get stuck. They still pull apart quite easily. The next thing you'll want is a blackout curtain that you can get cheap on Amazon. Then you'll want to get some carpeting for the top. I went with the carpet squares that have self-adhesive on the back. Now the self-adhesive will not hold, so to make up for that, you could either buy some more glue, Loctite, or something like that, but we ended up using just little black screws that I put in each corner. And then the final piece is there is on the back latches to keep all the pieces together. So you take your panel and you attach lids in each corner. This is what our buckets are going to snap into and snap out of. Now I will say, at first the buckets are incredibly hard to unsnap, but with a little practice and over time they become looser and they pop off a lot easier while still maintaining the stability that you need. You can see the lids have a 1x2 piece of wood on there. That's because at the time I only had longer screws, so that's what I used. The last time I used just screws, I think that bucket actually comes off that lid a little easier. The last step is that you need to hide the buckets underneath. What I chose is I bought a black curtain off of Amazon, and what I did was I bought it big enough that I knew it was going to be long enough, and then I cut it lengthwise. And then what we did is I had a friend come over, and since I don't own a sewing machine, and we sewed on Velcro. And underneath on the drum riser, I also attached Velcro. One thing I offset the Velcro underneath a little bit, and I thought it would give it a platform kind of style, like a column look. And it actually it looks okay, but if I were to, I'll probably redo it and make it flush with the outside edge. I think that'll look a little bit classier. I did make one cut myself. I ended up cutting the front corner off so it wouldn't be so sharp and I wouldn't run into it, and plus it gives it a nicer look. Well, there you have it. You can get as crazy with this build as you like. Now let's get those drummers in the air because they deserve to be seen.